So what is today about? I've grouped 3 different apps of Microsoft 365 together. Two of them honestly or definitely are very similar and very much related to one another. And the other one is a little bit of an outcast, but in a way, I think it belongs in this family. I won't pay too much attention to that. So the first is the to-do. I think we are all, in a way, familiar with something like a to-do list, definitely. I have to do this, I have to do that, whether it's personal, whether it's business, doesn't matter. We are all in a way used to making lists of things. Whether we do it is another question. But at least we make a list. I have to take out the garbage, I have to buy milk, or I have to um, put in a proposal, anything that you have to do. Outlook manages that or caters for that. But there is a separate app nowadays called To Do that you can open separately and access it separately on your taskbar at the bottom, right at the bottom, or on your start menu. Then also another app is Planner. Now, Planner also includes all your to-dos and your tasks, but it puts it in buckets or in groups. And Planner is excellent for sharing, collaborate. So yesterday I said we are now starting with um, collaboration tools so that we can work together in our group, in our business, with our colleagues. So Planner is the way to go. Then the other one that's a little bit of an outcast here is a list of things, not to do, list of things to keep track of, and I'll show you an example. Cool. So to do is personal productivity. That's for you and you alone, unless you want to share your tasks or task with anybody. It's a personal task manager and it is linked to Outlook tasks. So let me show you in my presentation. I'm sharing, just want to make sure. Here it is. This is Outlook. We spent some time on Outlook in the previous session. Within Outlook, there is an option on the left-hand side to do. And that will take you, should take you, oh, there it is. That will take you to a list of things that you have to do. For example, I have created, and I'll show you in a little while how to do that in any case, if you maybe don't know. I've created a brand new thing, a list to do for today, the 23rd of April. I have to mention to you, I'm reminding myself. So this is not a reminder, it's a list of things I have to do, I have to say, I have to mention, I have to train, I have to demonstrate. So where do we usually make a list? Well, absolutely anywhere. I tend to sometimes even make a list on my WhatsApp and sending it to myself. There's most that new feature. So I tend to do that sometimes because that's the easiest in my hand. My phone is like permanently in my hand, so that's quite an easy way. Or I use notes like OneNote, or then if I want to be pretty structured, I use Outlook. I'm not saying I use everything, it's just whatever comes to mind first. But when you use the to-do feature in Outlook or the app, you can also sync it with your mobile device. So you can download it on your mobile device. It's an app to do. And you sign in with the same Microsoft account details. And then you will have it synced automatically. You don't have to worry about that, which is very handy, especially if you have a business cell phone or mobile device. Then you can, wherever you are, waiting in a doctor's room, waiting for a meeting to start, you can add to-dos to your to-do, tasks to to your to-do. But I want to show you on the app launcher. Remember, we've been here a couple of times now. On the app launcher, there is a new, fairly new, if I say new, I don't mean yesterday, it's a fairly new app to do, which shows you only to do, not the emails. But you'll notice it looks extremely similar. Here I am in Outlook. Here I am in to do. Pretty much the same. Pretty much the same look and feel. The only advantage of having the to-do app listed in Outlook is that you don't have to go out of Outlook or click on your taskbar, open a new app. You can just click over there and there it is, or you can click on email and there it is, or on your calendar and there that is. Very handy, very nifty. Let me return to my presentation. Then I will, in any case, go and show you, for those who never used it before, how to add tasks to your to-do list. Planner, though, is for teamwork. Project and tasks, once again, it's a management tool and it works in boards and buckets. So all group together. Where did we have boards or something similar? Let me think. Can't think now. Okay, and then lists. List is structured for information. It's like a database tool. I'm not saying, guys, this is a little bit of a disclaimer. In Microsoft, you have Microsoft Access. That is a proper, been with us for many, many, many years. Very detailed, very, very involved database tool or app. List is also fairly new. Yeah, longer, can't remember. And you can track structured information, like, for example, all the inventory, all the items that you have in the office or at home for insurance purposes, for example. You can track there and you can keep a list of that. Cool. Microsoft To Do, personal list, sync automatically, definitely, and real time with Microsoft Outlook. It's a breakdown of something that you have to do. I have to do the masterclass on to do, planner, and lists. So what are the core things that I should not forget? I shouldn't forget, maybe I don't have a specific slide for that. Should not forget to tell you guys about the syncing. And there are two other things that I can't even remember that. So I can make a list of that, or I can add it to my presentation. But to do will be an ideal task that you break down in detailed to do items. For example, a shopping list of things that you have to buy, the bread and the milk and so on. Track admin task follow-ups. You can follow up on your emails or on your calls that you have to do. And preparation steps, like I've just mentioned, client training session. How do I prepare? What do I do? What is first? What is second? What shouldn't I forget? And so on. And then in our previous session, I showed you guys how to add categories to certain emails. Those same categories can be applied on Outlook. Right, so here we go. Before we go on with planning, let me just see. Oh, here's a screenshot of my to-do list. You can view it in a grid, or you can view it as a list. Now, it doesn't look like much difference, apart from the word title that's on the left-hand side. So that's more block-wise, where a list is literally a list of things. Okay. So before we carry on with planner, let's go back to our online option, and that is our to-do. And it's as easy as the following. As easy as the following. You can either carry on in one list forever, which is perfectly fine, to-do list, Or you can go and you can create a new list. So that's what I've done. I made a list with today's date. You can call it whatever you want. And this is a list of things that I have to do. So let me go and create a new list. I'm going to create a new list on the plus. Oops. On the plus. Let me, sorry. Let me just go back there. Let's just refresh. New list. Let's just see why it's not happening. What it does, it makes a title there. Let's just see. Let's just try. Okay, if we can't make a new list, I'm not too sure why the new list is not happening. I hope I'm not missing something here. All right, so let's use an existing list and then hopefully come back to that. So what I have on the existing list that I've just created like yesterday or so, I have to mention to you about the syncing. I mentioned that. I need to show you the difference between the to-do and the planner, which I'm busy doing. And I have to demonstrate some settings to you, which is not applicable really here. I'll just show you one or two. There were lots of settings applicable in the Microsoft Outlook version or session. So let's see. Let's start with the interface and see what we have here. Well, I can add a task. So what else should I show you? I should show you, hopefully, sometime, how to add a new list. Right, so that is one of the things I have to do. So I type it over there, it's right ready for me. I enter, and here it has how to add a new list. So why is it twice? I didn't have it there. Well, this is interesting. Okay, but cool, guys. I'm not going to stress about these things. Why it's happening for now, let's just go with the flow. So what I can do is I can select this task. Something happened now. Maybe it was online. It nearly sounded like my cell phone is on and it's not. So I can go and select. Oh, this is what happened. It deleted that task course. So it marked it as actually not deleted, pardon me. It been marked it as completed. There it is. So it's still in your list, and that's quite rewarding because you can now see how you progress with your tasks. So what else can I do apart from listing it? You can list things anywhere. We're all used to listing to do things on paper as well. So what we have over here on the right-hand side, that popped up immediately. You can close it right at the bottom. There's no close button as we are used to. So you can just hide the detail view. So we hide that. Yes, you can, if you click on the task, complete a task, you can, I just want to move that away. You can delete it. You can if you like. So let's just delete it. And it says it's now going to be permanently deleted. There's no undo button here. And that's okay. We're quite happy with that. Now, I've mentioned to you already, I'm busy mentioning to you, show the difference between to do and planner. So I can just as well at this point in time select that as a completed task. So I'm going to do it again and then watch out for the ping. We can switch it off. I can click and it will show me at the right hand side that it's been a completed task for today. Now when we go back to add a new list, which we still have to do, it also shows the detail on the right hand side, even though you can hide it. You can add steps to what you have to do. So how are we going to add a new list? What are the detailed steps in this? Well, I can sync my devices so that or I can refresh rather. That's actually, no, let me redo. I can refresh my browser. That's what I'm trying to say here. So that's one detailed step that I can do. And it seems like it's doing it twice. So let's go to mention mobile devices. That detail step is not there because it's not applicable to this particular task, or card as it's also known as. And there it's a refresh the browser. So, and that's the first step. If you have steps in that particular task that you have to do, you can add a reminder, which is very convenient to have. Over there, you can add a reminder later today, or you can pick a time. You can add a due date, which is always a good idea. Otherwise, it's going to take you forever. You can repeat this particular task, and then the category that you've used or that you use in Outlook can also be used here. So pick a category, and there is the categories. I've deleted all the categories that we used. Don't know why I've done that. But you can mark this as a green category. So unfortunately, you can not add categories here. But let's go to settings. Let's go to settings, and let's go to the to-do settings. Now, the to-do settings also does not allow you to add categories as in Outlook. So you have to, here you can put on, do you want to use the important? Do you want to use the plan? Do you want to use the completed? Maybe it's not something that's important to you on your list. Then you can switch it off. We all differ in how we do our planning. So you can add night mode, but yeah, awesome. Most of them are switched on and most of them we use without being too generalized in this sense. So what we can do is we can go back to Outlook. So let's go to Home. Let's go to the app launcher and then go to Outlook. And in Outlook, on the right-hand side, I'm going to click on Settings. And on the settings, on the accounts, there are categories. So let's call this, we can call it absolutely anything, but let's call this, let's just get that out of the way, a new category, and the new category will be Clinic with Purpose, Masterclasses. And I can assign a nice color to it if I like, and I can save it. Right. And now let's go back to my to-do list. This one, I'm going to refresh. I actually want to refresh this as well. I'm working in the browser. So let's just get that out of the way. And let's go there. Let me just close that one. Let's go to how to add a new list. And let's go to pick a category. And there it is, Clinic with Purpose. So I can categorize it, and that helps me a lot. There you go. That will help me a lot to search at a later stage. So I can search in, I don't want to go ahead, in Planner, I can search for categories. In To-Do, I can search. And in my email, I can search. And it will eventually show me over all three apps what has to do with Clinic with Purpose masterclasses. So certain emails that arrives on masterclasses that needs to attend to, planning that we do, to-do list that we do, we can categorize it. You can even add a file, which means you can add, let's say, I'm just going to choose that one, an Word, an Excel, a PowerPoint, a PDF, any type of file, a picture, image, you can add to this to do, so that when you deal with this particular task, you know these are or that's one step of the task. You can assign a due date. Let's say that's tomorrow, Thursday, at some point in time. There it all is all together, and you can even add a note to it. So this is called proper planning for yourself, living on your computer in your apps, synced with your Outlook. That is to do. You can have it listed in, you can have it listed, or you can have it listed as a grid or viewed as a grid. You can sort it, so it will be sorted by due date, so convenient, or by importance. If you have it set as importance, there your due date is showing. The other task doesn't have a due date. So this is something that I have to attend to in the masterclass. Okay, that file I added is not applicable, but I need to come back to you at some point, showing you, telling you that, showing you how you can add a new list, which I can't do now. Somehow it doesn't want to work. I'll try it again at a later stage if I remember and if I get around doing that. Then you can rename this list. You can change the theme, make it a little bit purple, so all the text will be in purple, if that is your color. You can print the list. You can PDF print it, or you can real time print it like on a piece of paper and destroy a couple of trees, or you can delete the list. And then, sort of last but not the least, here is the fact that you can also, let me just move that out of the way, the sharing. Oh, my word. Sharing is in my way. There you go. Or you can share it. Now, sharing in Planner happens sort of automatically, if I can call it that. Sharing in To Do, living on your computer, your list, you have to do manually. So you have to click over there and you have to create an invite or to anyone in your organization with this link and join you and edit with you in this list. And that's okay. If it's just something you want to share with one person, then this is the way you go, your to-do list that you can share. But that brings us to the next point. The next app, before I do that, on the left-hand side, automatically listed for you is My Day, and it will add all your tasks that needs to be completed today. So every morning you can click on My Day and it will automatically pull up all the My Day dates in all different lists, all different places. It will add it there for you. Then what you have planned earlier, today, tomorrow. So it's also a condensed list summarized for you without you doing anything. Here you can have a full list of everything, all the to-dos, 87 of them, in different lists, can all be together because I have a couple of lists. Assigned to me, things that you have to do, assigned to you there. All my completed tasks, couple of them, lovely, lovely, although last year's. Then your flagged emails. So on your emails, you can flag it. There's a little flag, and it will even show it to you here because a flagged email is something that needs to be attended to. So you flag it like on golf course, flag it, all the gaatjies there, and your emails will be flagged also in your to-do because it's part of a to-do list. And then tasks over here, which is just showing you. It's actually pretty much the same, although they still mentioning the task because that comes a long way with us, things that we have to do there. Now, in your to-do app, you still have access to right at the bottom, not in the left pane, to your Outlook, to your, oops, now just jump to my Outlook, to your calendar. Let me just move that out of the way again. To your calendar, where is my to do now? Come on, guys. Oh, there you go. So right at the bottom, you can access this, and this is the new apps in Microsoft 365. Attend to this in a brilliant way, because we don't want to have different apps that we have to open, go out, open it, click on another taskbar button, or go to the start menu, all in your face. Everything that belongs together are grouped together. I mean, everything, all the different apps that belongs together are also grouped together, absolutely for your convenience. Productivity, working, that old cliche, working smarter, not necessarily harder, because you have it all right up. And it's like packing out all the things that you need on your desk instead of having it in drawers and having to open the drawer every time or the file every time to use it like we did in the old days. It's all in your face, available for you to use. Let's go to Planner. Let's go to Planner, and we may have time today because these are quite small and straightforward apps for a little bit of a surprise, which is quite going to be quite applicable to where we're moving towards tomorrow. But let's see. Let me just not go ahead with something that I can't meet. So let's go. Planner. Planner works in tasks. Planner is most definitely also tasks that needs to be done. Nothing new there. Typical to-do list. A list of tasks, but it's organized in a much more visual way. So it's been grouped. It's in a Kanban style board. This is some people, those of you who know what this is in project planning and in planning, a word that's been widely used. So I'm just mentioning that to you if you were wondering. And it's in buckets, and it can be labeled as well. And of course, it can be categorized. So let's just see. Question now is, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. These are the buckets. Buckets can be different phases, and I'll show you a couple of extra examples on that. Question now is, at this point in time, which I will answer a little bit later. So let's go to Planner. Just want to show you there's a couple of distinct differences between to-do and Planner, although in Planner you have to-dos. Just remember that. So let's go to the app launcher. And in the app launcher, guys, this is a fairly new app, Planner. If I recall correctly, it was launched before, but in a brand new format. I think it was October last year, if I'm not mistaken. Which no, it was even later. It was even later. It might be, I think November rather. I've once again have a plan called My Plan 23rd of April. Um, I've created that especially for us today. You'll notice on the left-hand side, it has a my day, as in to do. It has a my tasks, as in to do. But now we have plans. And we can have plans. Let me just unpin these. These are pinned. So you can have lots and lots of plans, like you have can have lots and lots of lists in to do. But the plans is far more involved. It's the tasks plus many more of this. This is ideal for sharing. You can also schedule and you can have it in different views. So what we have here is a bucket called phase 1. It's a project that I have to do, and I'll give you a real life example now. Project that I have to do that's in 3 different stages or 3 different phases. The one, I just called it phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. So these are the buckets that I have that I can have a list, and when I'm done with that, or I want to move it into a different bucket, so I can move it around and I can have a couple of buckets. It can become extremely involved. What is nice about the buckets is you can group your tasks, your to-dos, into different buckets. So here they are, setting a task, as you can see, definitely my to-do list here, but my to-do list won't show here because this is for collaboration and sharing, and my to-do lists, as I've mentioned a couple of times, on my Outlook, in my Outlook on my computer. It's mine. This can belong to and will most probably belong to whoever I choose or whoever is working with me on a particular project, planning it. So I can, on the left-hand side, and I hope it's going to work, I can create a brand new plan. So let me hit over to Microsoft Word because I have two different scenarios listed there for you. One is a client training project. Please forgive me, my frame of reference. And one is a marketing campaign. All the ones in green are my different buckets, and the ones in black are my different tasks that needs to be done, my to-do list. So first of all, I'm going to create, shall we go for the marketing plan? Going to create a new project, a new plan called marketing campaign. So let's go for new plan. I hope it's going to work. Oh, thank you. There are, interesting enough, a couple of templates that you can follow as well. Microsoft love their templates. And you can definitely go to the template website that we shared with you a while ago. There will be even more planner templates that you can use. So you can have a simple plan. You can, of course, start with a basic plan. You can have a project management plan, business plan, software plan, and an employee onboarding plan. I will get back to this. So let's go for a basic plan. And my plan, my name for my plan is marketing campaign. I can pin it. Yes, that's a good idea. So then it's on top. And I can also add it to a group. So this means, and this goes to Microsoft Teams. It's fully integrated with Microsoft Teams. And on Friday, I will demonstrate that to you as well. So you can create a team or a group. It's also called in a way. And then you can assign this or add this particular plan to a group, which is actually exactly what you want to do. So you have a marketing team in Microsoft Teams. No, it's confusing. And you're going to invite that marketing team to be part of this planner process. So as you can see, collaboration in Microsoft 365, especially lately, has become a huge factor because we want to work together, especially nowadays that we work online all the time. So you don't need to be in the same room anymore or at the same venue anymore. You can be wherever you want to be and you can still collaborate online. Microsoft 365, I don't know if any other company that has this in place as Microsoft 365, I must admit. Okay, so let's create that. Now we're going to do it. It immediately gives me a to-do bucket list, which is quite obvious. But we want to have, and I have to demonstrate this to you to show you exactly how it works, because telling you doesn't help. So I have, oh, sorry, I don't have to. So first of all, the first things, the first phase, not necessarily the first, but the first I'm going to list is going to be, let me just go to the right place here. I'm going to change the to-do to no, I'm busy with the, oh, guys, I'm busy with the marketing. Pardon me. Pardon me. So it's going to be, and I'll share this with you, by the way, so that you have at least an example of two scenarios, or no, you have two scenarios. So the first bucket is going to be all the tasks concerning content creation. I'm not going to use all of them, so we don't have time for that, and it's a demonstration. So first of all, to create the content for our marketing campaign, as we have to write a campaign headline. So this helps a lot, that you can really, even more than in to do, break down certain tasks that needs to be done. And that's why we bucket them and we group them. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to take this one. I copy and paste because then I don't have to waste your time on on typing. So I'm going to add a task. There you go. Paste it there and add the task. Before I add it, I can set a due date and I can assign it to someone, but we're not going to do that now. I first just want to list it. So in this bucket is that one. Let's just try and do this. I have to also draft a LinkedIn post for creating the content. So we're going to add that as a next, add that as a next task, add that. And then last but not least, we have to create a short promo video. So you can assign who's going to do it, who's going to be involved with that, when should it be done, because that's important even more than for yourself, but in a group. Yeah, otherwise people will take forever to do this. So due dates are very, very important and convenience. Sorry, guys, I click all the time. Okay, so those are the three tasks in my content creation grouping bucket, they call it. So let's just do one or two more. Something else that we also need to do, it might be a couple of other people involved in this, or a different stage or phase you have to do this in, but it's definitely going to be involved a couple of other tasks. So that's why we group it or bucket it differently. So we can add a new bucket, you can add as many as you like. And this bucket name is design and media. It allows me to add a task. This is so convenient. Well, the first thing here I have to do, or one of the tasks, when we want to design and media options, we need to design, or everything that needs to be designed. Let me put it properly. We have to design a carousel in Canva. And I didn't show you the carousel. Carousel is actually just another very fancy word for like a slideshow. If I can leave it like that, just to not let you wonder how that is. But oh boy, tomorrow. Yeah, that's one of my favorite topics tomorrow. I so in every session wanted to show you tomorrow stuff, and I couldn't start with that, although I wanted to. So I now also wanted to say something, but I have to hold my horses. But I will say it tomorrow because that's the day that I can say whatever I wanted to say now. Almarie, you can just imagine what it is I want to say. And then another task in this bucket, in this list, in this, oh my goodness, no, that's not going to work. Let me just delete this one. So sorry. My excitement. Oh, maybe I didn't copy it. Okay, let me try and do this. I just want to show you one or two. Okay, so let's say those are those two. Then there's another bucket. There's a couple. Now, this is like another group of tasks, which can be email and social scheduling. So let's go for that. And that can be another group of people involved in that, in a different department. There's a reason why I keep it separate. And I'm pretty sure you can relate to that and make up your own story or your own situation. I'm going to add a new bucket, new group, email and socialing scheduling. And that involves, I have to write an email copy and paste, copy and paste. That helps a lot to save time. Add that task and load the post onto Buffer or Planner. You can even do it here. And Buffer is one of the programs that can be done or work with that. And we're also going to add schedule weekly reminders. So guys, it's impossible, so to say, for one person to do all of this. Although it is possible. No, it's not impossible. But being part of a business organization, why don't you just involve people that are assigned for this, maybe in or outside of the business, maybe you're outsourcing. So we're going to add that task. So as you can see, we have 3 buckets. You can have as many as you like. And we're just going to add one more. Then on the launch day, because we're working towards launching this. So we have 3 different stages, phases, buckets, groups. Oh my goodness, whatever you want to call it. So now we are eventually listing our tasks for the day of the launch. So we group that together. We have to do the LinkedIn post at 9 a.m. That's important. Oh yeah, definitely. So that we introduce the launch. We have to monitor all the emails. Quickly add that one. Add the task, so it's added. And also respond to early comments, which is a very good thing to do when you work in LinkedIn. Definitely something worth doing. There we go. So these are our, let me just move a little bit to that side. These are our different buckets and our different tasks that we have to do. And even if we did not assign it yet, we can do it now. So we can go over here on the ellipse, assign a task, copy a task. Maybe it's in 2 different phases there. Copy a link to the task, which you can share with others. Move the task. So you can, at this point in time, now let's say you actually now decide, you know what, we should rather, oh, here are 2, sorry. Let me just delete one. We should actually rather write copy email, maybe move this one. So we select, my goodness, now it makes it as, no, that was not the intention. Move this one on the ellipse to the one of the 3 other buckets. So let's move it to content creation and move it. So automatically, no, it didn't go. Oh, there it goes. It took a little while. Automatically, you can move it from one bucket to the other, but you can also drag and drop. That actually works much, much better. As you could see, you can mark it as complete, and then you can definitely assign. Oh my goodness, I do this every time. And actually, it showed there it was completed by Caroline. That looks quite good on the board for everybody. So this is like in a board view. You can have it in a grid view. I don't like this. It shows your buckets on the right-hand side and the progress of that. That's quite a nice view if you want to see who has been assigned to and the due dates and the progress of it. But I prefer, when working on it, to use it in a board view. You can schedule these tasks. Look at this, fairly new in Planner. It can show it to you. Okay, it won't show it now. Why? Because I don't have any due dates. But if you had, it will show it to you in a calendar format, either by month or by week. Very, very nifty. Then let me just go back to the board view, which is my favorite. We can also have a chart. So it's going to show you the progress, how many tasks are left. So now you can see it's 11 without even counting. And how many tasks per bucket. How many tasks has not been started yet? How many are in progress? How many are late? And how many are completed? So let's go back to the board and let's click on this one. Eventually now it's going to do completed, and it was completed by Caroline. Very, very good girl, that. And now it shows, wow, one has been completed in green of that bucket, and there are 10 tasks left. I must admit, guys, this to me is a very, very nifty app, definitely, fairly new. Actually, lots of project planning can be done in Planner. That is the baby brother of the other app, which is not automatically included in 365. You need to pay separately, very reasonably priced, and it will then also be integrated. Let me show you what I mean. When you go to the app launcher, you'll find Microsoft Project there. So it's a Microsoft project. It's integrated in 365, but it's not included in the subscription. So that needs to be paid for separately. So Planner is the baby brother for that. So if you don't want to pay another subscription or you really don't need more than this, I mean, what more do you need? Even gives you a chart, which it didn't in the past. In Microsoft Project, you have a Gantt chart, which shows you the progress of everything. Nearly forgot that terminology. Right, now you can filter by due date, by priority that you all set when you schedule your task. So there you go. I clicked on the little radio button before. Even though you've just listed your tasks, you can go at any point in time and assign the task, change the buckets, set the start date and the date and time, put some notes, um, um, make a checklist. So you can even have, this is so involved, you can even have a checklist of the tasks similar to what we had in to do. On the right hand side, remember what we had there? You can set the priority. Is this high? Is it important? Is it low? Which helps your team working with you on this project tremendously, because then they can see this task has been assigned to them and it's rather urgent. So, in a way, one doesn't even have to do a meeting, so called. Someone just do the planning, or a couple of people do the planning, and they just delegate the tasks, and these people will just receive notifications in their email and on Planner that they are now assigned to this task. Apart from the notes that you can do, so it can be quite involved. You don't have to open a Word document to make notes. You can do it here, or you can make notes in Word or in Excel, and you can add an attachment over here. But that's going to link you to a URL. So when we talk about SharePoint in 2 weeks' time, I think one of the last sessions that we have, SharePoint, yeah, it's definitely the last one now, remember? And SharePoint, you don't even have to, you can use a link, because it's like every single SharePoint with all the involvement in that is a little, I don't want to say a website on its own, but in a way it is. So you'll just add the link there. As you can see, you can't add the actual document. You have to add the location where it's saved, the Word document, the Excel document, the PowerPoint. So yeah, and then assign, last but not least on this page, you can add, Elmarie, I'm going with you again, but it's not showing that. Why is that? Because Planner is internal use. There is a way to set things in the admin of the Microsoft 365, but it's actually mainly for internal use. So seeing that I'm the only one in this business with a Microsoft license in any case, so that's why Almarie's name won't appear, because she has her own business with her own Microsoft account linked to her own domain. See, Almarie, that's why we had to assign the domain to the Microsoft account. That's just the way that cookie crumbles. So unfortunately, I can't show you the assign and task, but at least there you go. You can type the name or you can type the email address of someone that shares, it's a colleague that shares the same domain name as yours. Collaboration. But you can share it over here as well. There you can share it with a group, or you can create a group of people, or so let's say the marketing team. Yeah, that's ideal for the marketing campaign. Or a couple of people, that a group that you create, your own group. Um, New product launch team. You can do that. And you can enter the names there and everything else. But okay, that's a little bit involved for today session. You can even make this planner, this plan, private just for you. You can do that as well. And if I can just move that out of the way, There are some settings that you can set. You can share it. Already done that, pardon me. There's another, let me just go to that button there. You can, oh yeah, feedback is just feedback about the program because it's fairly, or the app, it's fairly new. So you can do some settings over here. You can add a theme. You can change the language. You can put a password to this because you don't want everybody to by accident have access in the organization with the same domain. So you put a password on this because this might be a secret launch that you are planning with a secret new product, and you don't want people to be part of that at this point in time. Okay, so I think that was it regarding the planner. Now let's go back to the presentation, and I just have two things I want to mention here. The distinct difference, apart from that I've already mentioned, between the to-do in Microsoft for me on my computer and or on my license compared to Planner, which is the collaboration. It syncs with Outlook task. We know that by now, definitely, but not with Teams in a project management way. It's for you, and you have to manually assign and share if that is what you want to do with your tasks. Then with Planner, it has filters, it has buckets, which I've demonstrated to you. Planner integrates perfectly, deeply, magnificently with Microsoft Teams. Each team, now I'm reading PowerPoint lesson or demonstration, each team can have its own tab for a shared planner. I'll show you that on Friday when we do Microsoft Teams. It's like built in, same family, not even same family, living in the same house. And you can assign tasks to team members and they will get notified automatically, as I've mentioned a couple of seconds ago. Now let's just look at lists. List is nothing to do with tasks per se, like to do and like planner, but I've grouped it together because there's no use doing that on its own. So let's see what that is involved. Microsoft List is a tracker of things, inventory, and so on. So here's an example, which I can show you in real life as well, of you have applied for a couple of jobs. So this is one way in Microsoft List where you can keep track of the jobs. So maybe different jobs have different IDs or names. This number one job, you have applied at Microsoft as this is the role or the job title, in which city this is. As you can see, this is very American based. And when the deadline is, this is quite old. I've just used that from one of the templates. So let me end. I think that was the last slide. Oh, no, it's not the last slide, but I'll show you that as well. This popped up today, when I went to quickly rehearse on Microsoft List this morning. I found this. There's a new List desktop app. So as Microsoft Word, you can also now download the List app. And it looks like they're going to develop it a little bit more. I think they're moving towards a little bit more and more and more moving towards Access, although Access is super huge and it's been around for many, many years. But here you can do it. You can install it there. So that is it. Yep, that is it. So let me go to lists. Once again, app launcher, click on list, but I've already opened it here. There is the message. I left it there for you to see. You can click on install and it will install the app for you, or you can use it online. Doesn't matter. When we create a new list, we have quite a couple of options. Blank list, completely blank, start from scratch. Or you can use an existing list that you maybe had in project that you can use. You can import from Excel. Sometimes let's take inventory. Let's take all the stock, all the furniture in your office. So where can you make a list of it? Like, for example, what it is, in which office it is, where it's been bought, what was the price, when it was bought, as well as the insured value at the insurance. So in Excel, this can make a very nice list. But when you have the list app, you can go and import that existing list from Excel or CSV, which is the more text version, baby brother version of Microsoft Excel. So you can do that. So let's just go 1 second to blank list. Time is up. You can give a name to the list. I didn't mean to spend a lot of time on here. You can choose a color and a description, and you can save it in my list, or you can save it in a team. So this also works well with Teams, Microsoft Teams. I so wish they can call it something else. But let me rather go and show you very quickly here's a couple of templates, quite a couple, I would say. So here's the job tracking one or application tracking, gift ideas, reading list, scheduler, work traveler. Let's go for asset manager. That would be more or less all my, let's say, all the devices in the business. So you can take pictures of it. You can add a tag to it, a code. You can stage whether it's available or in use, and you can even say who the manufacturer is, where you bought it from, what the model is. So this is quite a list with serial numbers, ideal for insurance purposes. When it was bought, I'm using a template, that's why it's all in dollars. The price of it, when it was, what the order number was way back when we bought it, who the current owner is. Grace is using this last one on this list viewing. The previous owner, so it was a laptop used by William. Now it is being used by Grace, and when is the due date when it needs to be replaced, which helps a lot in budget planning. Okay, so you can just use this. This is not much to say about it. It's honestly just a matter of using a template and start making your list. This particular template will give you an option for photos. You can share it, you can copy the link, you can export it, you can brand new, you can use it in forms, create a new form in this. You can automate it, that we talk about somewhere next week, I think. You can integrate it with some other apps, and the one that we also going to look at is my Power BI. That's also in store for next week. You can sort it, you can manage the access. Guys, I didn't plan at all to spend a lot of time on here because this is in a way maybe something that you might not use as regularly as to do and as planning, but I thought I'll just throw it in